friends, I hope you all are doing well. You must have used VLOOKUP many times before, but in today's video, I am going to share with you some tricks that will provide you a new perspective of using VLOOKUP. So let's begin with our first example. Here you can see I have a list of different drinks in my product list, and you can see the name Coke is appearing three times in the list. Apparently it seems that Coke is representing the same product. But if you look closely at the units, you can see that these three names are not representing the same product, but they are representing different products. So now my task is to make VLOOKUP efficient enough to differentiate between these three products. If I try to use VLOOKUP as we use it regularly, you will find that it will not be able to differentiate between these three products. So let's try applying VLOOKUP here. Let's type VLOOKUP. We have to VLOOKUP this product within this array. Let's fix it. Let's type 2, 0, close the parenthesis and hit enter. And here you can see that it is giving the result 500. If I drag it down, you can see that it is giving me the result of first entry, and this is not what I want. Now I want to make some changes in the formula that can help me to obtain the accurate results. So let's remove them from here. But before I start applying VLOOKUP, I would like to discuss something about another function in Excel, that is exact function. Exact is basically the Excel function that is used to compare two values or two numbers and is also a case sensitive formula. Let's apply exact here. I am going to type exact, and now I want to compare this entry within all the products available in the list. Let's select the list, fix it, close the parenthesis and press enter. And here you can see it is returning true at the first entry while it is giving me false for other entries. If I use the same formula for the second Coke, let's type it first, exact. Now I am going to enter my second entry in the product list, and let's find it in our main products list. Let's fix them, close the parenthesis, press enter, and here you can see it is returning true for the fourth entry in the product list while it is returning false for all other entries of Coke. This is how the exact formula works in Excel. Now I am going to combine VLOOKUP with the exact formula. You can see that exact formula returns value in terms of true and false. So while applying VLOOKUP, we are going to look up for the value true instead of look up the values in the product list. Okay, so let's type our formula first, remove them from here, and I am going to type VLOOKUP. We have to look up for the value true. Okay, then we have to enter the table array. For the table array, I am not going to select this complete table. Rather, I am going to type a combination of formula. Let's type choose start parenthesis, and then as we have two options that include true or false, so within curly brackets I am going to type 1, 2. Then I am going to type exact, and in exact formula I am going to type those values that we actually want to look up. So let's select Coke from here, insert comma, provide the list of products that is your main list, and fix it by pressing F4, close the parenthesis. Now let's add our units list, close the parenthesis. So now this complete combination of formula is basically representing our lookup array table. Insert comma. Next we have to enter the column number from which values are to be retrieved, that is our units column. So I'm going to type 2, 0. I am putting 0 because I want the exact match. 0 represents false while 1 represents true. So I am writing here 0, close the parenthesis and press enter. currently it is not showing us any result because this is an array formula. In order to obtain the results, place your cursor on the error value, double click on it, and when formula appears, press Ctrl Shift and Enter. And here you can see 500 against the first entry Coke. Now let's drag it down, and here you can see that it is making some errors. The error is occurring due to the fact that we have not fixed this range. So now let's fix that by pressing F4. Again press enter, double click on it, press Ctrl Shift Enter, and now drag it down. And here you can see we have achieved three different values against our three different entries. So now let's compare them with our actual results to see are they right or not. We are seeing 500 against Coke with capital C. So here you can see they are 500 units, and for our next entry with small case Coke we are seeing 350, and in the main table we also have 350 against our small case Coke, and for our funky font Coke we have 635 here, and similarly we also have 635 here. Show this formula to your friends and colleagues and make them go wow. Now let's move towards our second example. So here we are with our second example, and here you can see I have information about sales of some products in different months, and some months are appearing iteratively, and similarly I have another table in which I have organized the numeric representation of months with their actual names. Now I want the information about total sales in these months. In order to obtain the sum of sales, I need the sumif formula, and in order to show them accurately against the months, I need a VLOOKUP formula. So in this example, I am going to combine both. Place your cursor here in front of your first month. So let's begin with the sumif formula equal to sumif. Now it is asking for the range. I am going to give the numerical representation of months as a range, then insert comma, and it is asking for the criteria. Now for the criteria, I am going to use the VLOOKUP formula. Let's type VLOOKUP, start the parentheses, and then it will ask for the lookup value. Our month's name is basically the lookup value, insert comma, and for the table array, I am going to use this table as a reference. Fix it by pressing F4. For the column index number, I am going to enter 2 because I want to compare these numbers with these numbers. In this table, months is basically representing the column 2. So here I am going to write 2, then press 0 because I want the exact match. Close the parentheses, and now we have to complete our sumif formula that requires us to enter the range that is to be summed for the results. Insert comma, and here I am going to enter the list of my sales values. Close the parentheses and hit enter. So here you can see the total sales in different months. Now let's check if we are getting the right values or not. So let's sum the January sales from our list, and here you can see I am getting 7078. For the March, I have only one entry which is 1500, and here I have also achieved 1500. So this means our formula is applied correctly. If you like this formula, then don't forget to hit like to the video. Let's move towards our next example. Here you can see I have two different tables. In the first table, I have information about employee ID, name of employee, and the information about their salaries. And in the second table, I have information about their login ID and their employee ID. And here I want the information of names of employees and their salaries. But here you can see instead of employee ID, the reference which I have is the login ID. This means I have to devise some way to achieve the information from this table here by using the login ID, which is not actually the part of table 1 but the part of table 2. So let's begin with typing the formula. Let's write lookup. Lookup value is the login ID. For the table array, I am going to select this table, which is table 2, and from here I am going to retrieve the column 2 information. So write 2 for the column index and then press 0 and close the parentheses, and let's fix them by pressing F4. Okay, so this is your first VLOOKUP. Press enter and here you can see that the employee ID is appearing. We are going to use this ID to retrieve information from table 1. Now let's apply second VLOOKUP. Our first VLOOKUP will become the lookup value for our second VLOOKUP, and for the table array I am going to give the reference of table 1. Let's fix it by pressing F4, then insert comma. For the name I am going to type 2 and then again insert comma and select false, or you can type 0. Close the parentheses and press enter, and here you can see the name. For the salary information, we will use the same formula except that we will replace this column index number from 2 to 3. Now let's replace 2 with 3 and press enter, and here you can see the information about salaries. So I hope you enjoyed this formula. Now let's move towards our last example. In this example, you can see I have information about different sales and I want to calculate bonus value against these sales based on the range criteria mentioned in table 2. So I am going to calculate the bonus value by using a VLOOKUP. Now let's see how can we do that. Here you need a helping column, so I am going to type help column, and here you are supposed to extract the first number from your range. So I am going to type 0, 2000, 5000, and here it is 8000. Okay, so this is our helping column. Now I am going to use this column to obtain the bonus values. So let's type equal to VLOOKUP. We want to look up for this value, insert comma, and provide the table array including your helping column. Fix it by pressing F4. Insert comma, and for the column index I am going to type 3 because bonus is my third column. Let's type 3, then insert comma and select true. This time you are not going to use the exact match but the approximate match. Select it, close the parentheses and press enter. So here you can see that what I am getting. For the sales 6534, I have obtained 0.08, which is the 8%. So my 6000 sales values lies between this range. This means 8% is correct. For the 8296, which lies in the range above 8000, I am getting 0.1, which is 10%. This means this is also correct. So in order to obtain the bonus, multiply it with the exact sales value, press enter, and here we are with our bonus values. If you enjoyed today's video, then don't forget to hit like. If you are new to my channel, then do subscribe to it so that you can benefit from upcoming videos. This is all for today. Thank you for your time. Stay blessed. Have a good day.